This is a Void Warlock build video that I have wanted to make forever, and after months of research, testing, and tuning, I've got what I believe to be the best Void Warlock build in the entire game. It's got copious amounts of energy regeneration, massive super energy gains, unkillable levels of healing, permanent weakening debuffs on every single enemy, and of course, a fashion setup that will have your friends, clannies, and all of LFG addressing you as the world's best Warlock player. So get ready to experience this masterpiece that is the Briarbind's Void Warlock build. And I want to thank you for watching this video by giving away 3 Tabula Rasa emblems, and I'll tell you how to enter right after I tell you about this video's sponsor. A game that you can cozy up on the couch with during this winter season, is playable on both mobile and PC, and has over 800 incredible champions. It's perfect if you're into collecting awesome characters and having a great time with beautiful gameplay. So if that sounds fun, then join me in the adventure that is Raid Shadow Legends. And guys, big news from Raid Shadow Legends that you don't want to miss. Something big is happening in this month. The worlds of Raid Shadow Legends and Monster Hunter are colliding in an amazing limited time crossover. Starting on January 9th, 2024 and finishing on March 5th, players can collect 5 Monster Hunter themed legendary champions based on iconic monsters from Capcom's action RPG franchise. Rathalos, Zynogur, Elatrion, Fatalis, and Ruiner Nergiganti. Everyone can get the Rathalos Blademaster Legendary Champion for free simply by logging into Raid for 7 days between now and March 5th. Raid has no shortage of icy cold champions for this winter season, such as Sir Nicholas, a powerful HP-based champion used in unkillable team compositions against the Demon Lord clan boss. He also has lots of hard-hitting attacks from his skill multipliers, a shield based on his damage dealt, and can place unkillable and healing buffs to protect the whole team. So be sure to click my link in the description or scan my QR code on screen to get insane bonuses only available through my link, like an epic champion, Drake, and other useful things. Once you're in, you can also use the promo code RAIDXmas for more stuff, and come find me under the name Mactics and join my clan, Celestial Nighthawk. And to enter in to win the Tabula Rasa emblem, simply like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below what exotic you want to see in the next build video. With all of that said, let's construct this perfect Briarbind's Warlock build. Now, typically we start builds off by talking about the exotic armor piece, but for this setup, it's much more appropriate to start at square one with our first aspect, the Child of the Old Gods, which is actually significantly more complex than most think. In addition to providing 2 fragment slots, Child of the Old Gods also creates a void soul that will stand idly next to you for up to 25 seconds upon casting your class ability. Then, upon damaging an enemy with a weapon, your void soul will fly towards that enemy, creating a 10-meter field lasting for about 10 seconds that leeches all enemies inside, weakening and dealing damage to all leeched targets. On top of that, this aspect also grants you benefits while leeching targets depending on your selected class ability, granting 25 HP every 1.4 seconds if you have the Empowering Rift equipped, or, for the class ability I recommend for this build, giving 4% grenade and melee energy every 1.4 seconds if you have the Healing Rift equipped. And if that wasn't enough, this aspect also grants class ability energy, with higher tier enemies granting extra energy for every enemy that dies inside of the leeching field of the Void Soul. Finally, it's also worth noting that while enemies will not target it, the Void Soul does have 150 HP and can be destroyed if hit by things like area of effect damage. Now that we understand the Child of the Old Gods perfectly, it's time to talk about our exotic armor piece, right after I humbly ask you to consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you've learned something new in this video so far. As stated in the intro, the exotic armor piece for this build is the Briarbind's Exotic Gloves, which grants a whole slew of different benefits that turn the Child of the Old Gods aspect into arguably the best aspect in the entire game. While wearing the Briarbind's exotic gauntlets, Void Souls have their on-field duration increased by 55% and can be retrieved by interacting with them, allowing you to refresh the Void Soul Ready buff as it sits idly next to you awaiting redeployment via weapon damage. Additionally, when the Void Soul kills enemies, it gains increased damage and damage resistance, up to a maximum of a 100% damage increase and 50% damage resistance increase after 6 kills, both bonuses that can be maintained even through pickup and redeployment. The result of all these benefits is twofold. The first is that with these gloves, you can effectively make one Void Soul last forever, as picking it up and redeploying it will reset the duration that it is allowed to exist on the field, meaning that by constantly grabbing it and throwing it back out at a new group of enemies, or even the same tanky boss or champion enemy, the soul will simply never go away. Additionally, once you get some practice in with this build, you'll begin to really get comfortable and efficient at scavenging and redeploying the souls to the point where you will have 3 or 4 souls out on the field at the same time, which is incredible for granting you tons of ability energy to all 3 abilities and weakening every target in the entire game. Moving on to our next aspect, we have Feed the Void, which provides the enhanced Devour buff from all ability kills and turns all sources of regular Devour into Enhanced Devour. Enhanced Devour is effectively Devour, but 2 times better, granting 200 HP on activation, refresh, or kill, as opposed to 100 HP from regular Devour. Additionally, Enhanced Devour also doubles your grenade energy refresh on every kill, bumping the normal values of 7.5% energy for killing red bar enemies, 11.6% for orange bars, 13.75% for mini bosses and champions, and 20% for bosses, up to 15%, 23.2%, 27.5%, and 40% respectively. And to make that Devour buff even better, we'll look to our fragments, beginning with the Echo of Persistence, increasing the maximum duration of our Devour buff from 10 to 15 seconds, and upgrading the duration increase on reactivation or kills from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. After that is the Echo of Starvation to activate or refresh Devour on Orb of Power or Void Breach pickup. Whilst this might seem a little overkill to run side by side with Feed the Void, it actually works out really well for 3 different reasons. The first is that it simply gives us another way to acquire Devour in the first place, instead of only being able to get it with an ability kill. Benefit number 2 is that while running Feed the Void, all instances of Devour automatically become Enhanced Devour, even those acquired from methods other than Feed the Void, such as the Echo of Starvation. Benefit number 3, the most important, is that this fragment effectively turns every single Orb of Power and Void Breach into a Devour buff extension, and thus a full HP heal, as any interaction that would activate or extend Devour will also proc its healing benefits. And to play more into that power fantasy, we will occupy fragment slot number 3 with the Echo of Harvest to create an Orb of Power and a Void Breach when defeating a weakened enemy, which will effectively be every enemy thanks to our Void Souls that will engulf the battlefield. Finally, for fragment slot number 4, we will roll with the Echo of Remnants to increase the duration of all damage over time grenades, which works out really well considering how often our grenade is up thanks to all of the grenade ability regeneration from the Child of the Old God's Leech and Devour kills. It's probably worth noting right now as well that I highly recommend the Vortex Grenade as the grenade selection for this build. As far as the rest of your abilities go, you only have one choice for the melee and Pocket Singularity, which is great for knocking back and applying volatile to targets, as well as an option between 2 variants of Nova Bombs, or Nova Warp if you like to be a little different. As far as Nova Bomb selection goes, I did a little bit of testing a while ago and found that Cataclysm and Vortex did about the same overall damage. So I do believe that your Nova Bomb choice is up to personal preference for the most part. Personally, I like Vortex Nova Bomb better, as I find that with Cataclysm, the Nova Bomb makes boss DPS really annoying for you and your teammates, as it blocks any bullets or rockets and can actually be destroyed and broken up early if it sustains enough enemy fire. Again though, it's ultimately up to you. But now that we have our subclass setup all picked out, let's go over our armor mods. Starting on the helmet with a copy of Ashes to Assets for bonus super energy on grenade final blows, as well as a siphon mod matching the element of your primary ammo weapon for orb generation on weapon multi-kills. Down on the gloves, we'll look to take a copy of Firepower for orb of power generation on grenade kills, and copies of Bolstering Detonation and Focusing Strike for a chunk of class ability energy refund when dealing grenade or melee damage respectively. Moving down to the chest, it's just a charged up mod to increase your armor charge stat capacity from 3 to 4, along with whatever resist or reserves mods you like. Over on the boots, we'll take a copy of Stacks on Stacks to double all instances of armor charge acquisition, as well as copies of Innervation and Insulation for a chunk of grenade and class ability energy respectively when scavenging orbs of power. Finally, on the class item, we're rocking with Reaper to generate orbs on weapon final blows after class ability cast, Bomber to receive a chunk of grenade energy on that same class ability cast, and finally Utility Kickstart to trade our armor charges for a big refund to class ability energy after use. With all that slotted in, you'll toss in some stat mods prioritizing tier 10 resilience, followed by high recovery if you want higher class ability uptime, discipline for higher grenade uptime, or intellect for higher super uptime. Personally, I like the intellect route, but it's dealer's choice on this one. And to get started right now, you can scroll down to the description for the Destiny Item Manager link that will automatically copy all of this over to your Guardian in just one click. And if you want to thank me, hitting those like and subscribe buttons does just that. If you really want to thank me for this build though, consider stopping by the live stream at twitch.tv/Mactics so I can say hi to you and thank you back for watching my videos. Be sure to check out Raid Shadow Legends through the QR code on screen or the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.